Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksoramritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you for coming to our reading of Caitanya Caritamrta. So we're currently in Antya Lila, chapter number 12, titled The Lord's Dealings with Jagadananda Pandit. We're on text number 99. So recently some of our pujaris, they've gone on a trip to India. So that's why most of the days now, Ghanshyam Prabhu is dressing Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. Like today in the morning, Ghanshyam Prabhu dressed them, and now again, Ghanshyam Prabhu is dressing Radha Gopinath again for their night dress. And I think again tomorrow morning he has to dress them again. So most of the days Prabhu has to dress them, so it's a bit of a busy schedule for him until the pujaris come back. Okay, text number 99. They heard confidential narrations about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from the mouth of Jagadananda Pandit and forgot themselves in the great happiness of hearing about the Lord. So where we left off last week was Jagadananda Pandit, one of the very close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu instructed him to please go to Bengal and give your association to the devotees of Bengal. So all the close associates of Mahaprabhu in Bengal, they were feeling separation from Mahaprabhu because Mahaprabhu is in Jagannath Puri and most of the year they don't have the personal association with Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu told Jagadananda Pandit, you go to Bengal and you give your association to the Bengali devotees and you tell them about my pastimes. You tell them what I'm doing in Jagannath Puri. So by hearing about my pastimes, they will feel some solace and their pain of separation will be somehow mitigated. So that's what Jagadananda Pandit is doing at the moment. He's arrived in Bengal. Firstly, he goes to Mother Sachi's house. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother offers her obeisances, and he tells Mother Sachi that, I have some Mahaprasad for you from Lord Jagannath. And then he starts narrating about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, that your son Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, he's done like this, he's done this pastime, he does like this. And when Mother Sachi is hearing about the activities of her dear son, she is feeling great happiness and joy. In the same way, then, Jagadananda Pandit, he goes to all the other Vaishnavas' house, like Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, and in the same way he starts narrating the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And as all these Vaishnavas in Bengal, they hear these pastimes of Mahaprabhu, they're feeling great solace. Their pains of separations are slowly being mitigated. And we were discussing last week that Jagadananda Pandit, he is no ordinary personality. He's actually Satyabhama in Krishna Lila. So Satyabhama, she is one of the principal queens of Krishna in Dwarka. So the foremost queen is Rukmini, Mother Rukmini. After that, Satyabhama, she is like the next most prominent queen of Krishna in Dwarka Lila. So Satyabhama in Gaura Lila, she comes as Jagadananda Pandit. And Satyabhama, she is also an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Like it's given in Shastra that Srimati Radharani, she manifests herself from the left side of Krishna. That's how she originally manifests herself. And it's mentioned that Lord Balaram, he manifests himself from the right side of Krishna. So from the left side of Krishna, Srimati Radharani, she manifests herself, and from the right side, Lord Balaram comes. And that's why on the altar, we always have Srimati Radharani, always on the left side of Krishna. And if you look at Gaur Nitai, Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram himself, he's always on the right side of Mahaprabhu. Same with Jagannath Baladev Subhadramani, Balaram is on the right side of Lord Jagannath. So it's said in Shastra that Srimati Radharani, she first manifests herself from the left side of Krishna. And as soon as she's come, the first thought that enters into our mind or into our consciousness is, how shall I serve him? How shall I serve Krishna? That is immediately the first thought that comes into our mind as soon as she manifests herself. She comes out from the left side of Krishna and she immediately looks at Krishna and thinks, how can I serve him? How can I serve my dear Lord Krishna? Then after that thought comes to her mind, she looks and she sees a bush with a lot of beautiful flowers. Immediately she goes running into the bush and immediately she starts collecting flowers. Then after collecting flowers, immediately she quickly makes a beautiful garland for Krishna and then comes and offers the garland to Krishna. So there's one beautiful painting upstairs we have in front of the sannyas room, in like the assembly room in front of the sannyas room, we have a nice big painting. Krishna will be standing with his flute in his threefold bending form, and Srimati Radharani will be seated on the ground with a garland in her hand, giving to Krishna, please accept this garland. So the pastime behind this painting is this, that as soon as Srimati Radharani manifests herself, first thing she thinks, how can I serve him? What should I do to serve? That's immediately the first thing that comes to her mind. And she sees flowers, immediately she goes, plucks flowers, makes the garland, and then she offers to Krishna. So this is the mood of Srimati Radharani. And that same mood is also there with Balaram. Prabhupada in CC, he writes that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Balaram, or the Adi Guru, he is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. So Balaram's mood is also in that same mood of service. So Balaram's whole consciousness mood is, how can I serve Krishna? It's given that Balaram's consciousness is so much into serving Krishna that he serves Krishna in all 5 of the rasas. He serves Krishna as Santa Ras, he serves Krishna as Dasya Ras, he serves as Krishna's servant also. Sometimes when Krishna would get tired of playing with the cowherd boys, Krishna would take some rest under the shade of a tree. And Balaram, although he's the elder brother, still he has that feeling of, dasya towards Krishna. He also wants to serve Krishna in that mode of dasya or servitude. So Balaram would sometimes come and also massage Krishna's feet or legs. Balaram would also sometimes fan Krishna. So Balaram serves Krishna in dasya also. And in Santa Ras, which is the neutrality state of serving Krishna or relating with Krishna, the whole of Vrindavan, all the paraphernalia used in Krishna's service, that's all Balaram. Balaram manifests himself as all the paraphernalia in Vrindavan. Just like this mic stand is considered as Balaram. This book stand is Balaram. The mridanga is considered as Lord Balaram. Harmonium is Balaram. The kartals are Balaram. All the paraphernalia being used in the altar for serving Krishna, that's also Balaram. So in this way it's given that in the spiritual world, Balaram, he manifests himself as all the paraphernalia to be used in Krishna's service. So that's Balaram manifesting himself in Santaras, or serving Krishna in Santaras, and he serves Krishna in Dasyaras by doing menial services like massaging Krishna's lotus feet. And he serves Krishna in Sakya-ras also. He acts as Krishna's friend. Balaram and Krishna, they do so many nice sweet pastimes together. Then there is paternal affection. Vatsalya-ras. Balaram also serves Krishna in that mood also. Balaram, as the elder brother, he'll always have that protective feeling towards his younger brother. Always check, is Krishna doing okay? Has he eaten enough? Like that. He would have Vatsalya-ras towards Krishna also. And it's also mentioned that Balaram, he is so hungry for service, he is so hungry just to serve Krishna in any way possible. He also serves Krishna in Madhurya Ras also. So Balaram, he manifests himself as Ananga Manjari, and in this way he serves Srimati Radharani, also in Krishna's conjugal pastimes also. So Ananga Manjari, she's Srimati Radharani's younger sister. So in this way, the Shastras explain, Balaram, he expands himself, or he serves Krishna in all 5 of the rasas. That's how hungry or greedy he is to serve Krishna. He's not just satisfied as serving as Krishna's friend, but he serves in all 5 of the rasas. So the same mood is there, both of Balaram and Srimati Radharani. That's the first thing that comes into Srimati Radharani's mind as soon as she comes is, How can I serve him? Immediately she sees flowers, plucks flowers, makes garland and offers to Krishna. Same mood is there in Balaram. Now in Caitanya Caritamrta, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that all the expansions, they come from Balaram. From Balaram, all the avatars, they manifest. And in the same way, from Srimati Radharani, all the divine consorts of the Lord, they also manifest. Just a few days ago, I was hearing Ghanshyam, he was explaining this, and he was saying that Krishna, he's the most expert project manager. He just stays in one place, just enjoys, and from one side he manifests Srimati Radharani, she expands as all the energies, consorts of Lord. From the other side he manifests Balaram. From Balaram comes all the avatars, all the Vishnu Tattvas, and in this way everything goes on, and he's just enjoying. So he doesn't have to do any work. So from Balaram comes Sankarshan, Anirudh, Pradyumna, Narayan comes, and then, the second Chaturvyuha. Then there is Mahavishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, all the avatars, they come from Balaram. And at the same time it's mentioned that every time Krishna expands or manifests himself, at that same time, or simultaneously, Srimati Radharani also expands to assist in Krishna's pastimes. For example, Krishna, he manifests himself as Dwarka Krishna, or Vasudev Krishna. So then, Srimati Radharani also expands as a consort for Vasudev Krishna or Dwarka Krishna. So Rukmini, Satyabhama, these are all expansions of Srimati Radharani. Same way when Krishna, he comes as Lord Ramachandra, then one of Srimati Radha's expansions comes as Sita to assist in Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. Same way when Narayan is there in Vaikuntha, Lakshmi Devi is there to serve Narayan. And Lakshmi Devi is also the expansion of Srimati Radharani. And in Goloka Vrindavan, it's given, this is all explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Adi Leela. He explains all these deep truths. So in Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that initially it's just Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And remember Srimati Radharani's mood, she's always thinking, how can I serve Krishna? That's her first thought. And her whole meditation is, how can I serve Krishna better, or how can I give more and more pleasure to Krishna? So it's mentioned by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that Srimati Radharani is thinking that, I'm giving Krishna pleasure, but Krishna's pleasure will increase if instead of just having one consort, he has many different consorts. Just like the saying goes, variety is the mother of enjoyment. So Prabhupada used to always quote this saying, that the more varieties that are there, the more enjoyment we get. Just like with prasad. If we just get one item, like khichdi or rice and dal, it's nice. But if there's many different items, one this paneer sabji, one bean sabji, one spinach sabji, it's pakoras, chutney, halwa, puris. If there's many different varieties, then we get even more enjoyment. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai. So Prabhupada explains variety is the mother of enjoyment. So Srimati Radharani thinks, okay, I'm giving Krishna pleasure, but if there were many more consorts for Krishna, Krishna will get more pleasure. If there's many different consorts with different natures, different moods, different personalities, then Krishna will get even more pleasure. So then thinking like this, Srimati Radharani manifests herself or expands from herself as all the other gopis. So all the other, millions of gopis in the spiritual world, they're all actually expansions of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani, she expands as all of these, unlimited gopis, simply to give Krishna more pleasure. Each and every one of these unlimited gopis, they have their own unique personality, unique nature, mood, and characteristics. And they all give a unique rasa, or pleasure, or enjoyment to Krishna. So some of the gopis, they're very feisty in nature, some of them are very mild, some of them very moody. In this way, different gopis, they manifest different natures or personalities to give Krishna more pleasure, because variety is the mother of enjoyment. So in the same way, Satyabhama, she's one of these expansions, and her nature, which she manifests, is of a very feisty, jealous kind of nature. And she'd always, my Guru Maharaj says that Satyabhama, she'll always act like a big drama queen. She'll always blow things apart, get on Krishna's case, get angry, like that. And it's not material anger or material jealousy or like that. It's all, remember, done all for Krishna's pleasure, to give Krishna more variety, more enjoyment. And ultimately, as we were discussing, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami explained, these are all simply expansions from Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani manifests or expands from herself all these different consorts to give Krishna more variety of pleasure, to increase Krishna's pleasure. So this is the mood of Srimati Radharani. How can I serve Krishna? How can I better serve Krishna? So as sons and daughters of Srimati Radharani, we also have to imbibe the same mood of our mother also. And on the other side, Lord Balaram, he also has the same mood. How can I serve Krishna? He's so hungry for service, he serves Krishna in all 5 of the different rasas. So in this way, the Shastra explained that the topmost level of consciousness is the Seva Bhav, Seva Nanda, the happiness that comes from rendering service. There is no greater happiness than the happiness that comes in serving Krishna. And that's why Srimati Radharani, Balaram, all these great personalities, the whole mood is simply absorbed in how we can serve Krishna better. One time, one of my godbrothers, before he became a devotee, like as a new bhakta, he came for darshan with my Guru Maharaj. So he comes into the room for darshan, and he introduces himself as a happiness seeker. He says, dear Maharaj, my name is so-and-so, and I'm a happiness seeker. I'm always seeking for more and more happiness, more and more enjoyment. I'm a pleasure-seeking person. Like this, he introduces himself. And my Guru Maharaj, he responds by telling him, don't look for happiness, don't search for happiness. Instead, simply look for an opportunity to serve. If you simply look for an opportunity to serve, happiness will be forced upon you. So the same principle is given in Caitanya Caritamrta, being displayed by the gopis. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that the gopis, they never endeavor for their own happiness. Their whole mood, their whole consciousness is Krishna Sukha Hetu. How can we give Krishna more and more pleasure? They have not a slightest tinge of consideration for their own happiness. But although their mood is just simply for Krishna's pleasure, and although they're functioning in that mode, Krishna, as a byproduct, he forces happiness upon the gopis. Although the gopis, they don't want any personal happiness, Krishna, being pleased with the service, he forcefully drowns them in an ocean of happiness. So this is the secret to happiness. Secret to happiness is not to endeavor, with our senses and sense gratification, trying to grab happiness here, grab happiness there. But Caitanya Caritamrta explains that the way to be happy is simply to look for an opportunity to serve. If we're always looking for an opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas, to serve our spiritual master, to serve Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, then simply that consciousness of trying to serve, Krishna will be pleased and Krishna will force happiness upon us. Because that is our constitutional position. Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishna Nichanas. Our constitutional position is that of service. So if we're always looking for an opportunity to serve this way or that way, then because that's our constitutional position, naturally we'll be happy. If we go the other way and just look to gratify our own senses, then happiness will evade us. So this is Satyabhama. She's one of the expansions coming from Srimati Radharani, and she manifests this feisty nature simply for Krishna's pleasure, to give Krishna more pleasure. It's a certain variety of enjoyment Krishna gets. So different consorts of Krishna, they will display different moods and natures to give Krishna a variety of enjoyment. So that same mood we'll see with Jagadananda Pandit here also. Okay, text number 100. Whenever Jagadananda Pandit went to visit a devotee's house, that devotee immediately forgot himself in great happiness. All glories to Jagadananda Pandit. He is so favored by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that anyone who meets him thinks, now I have gotten the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. Jagadananda Pandit stayed at the house of Sivananda Sain for some time, and they prepared about 16 seers of scented sandalwood oil. So 16 seers, Prabhupada says, is roughly around 15 kilos. So when Jagadananda Pandit, he stayed at the house of Sivananda Sain, they together prepared 15 kilos of perfumed sandalwood oil. So 15 kilos is quite a huge quantity of oil. So they personally prepared this special, very nice, fragrant sandalwood oil. And now Jagadananda Pandit, he's going to carry this huge amount of oil, 15 kilos of oil, all the way from Bengal back to Jagannath Puri as an offering for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They filled a large earthen pot with the aromatic oil, and with great care, Jagadananda Pandit brought it to Nilachal, Jagannath Puri. This oil was placed in the care of Govinda, and Jagadananda requested him, "Please rub this oil on the body of the Lord." Govinda therefore told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Jagadananda Pandit has brought some scented sandalwood oil. It is his desire that your lordship apply a little of this oil on your head, so that blood pressure due to bile and air will be considerably diminished." He prepared a large jug of it in Bengal, and with great care he has brought it here. The Lord replied, "A sannyasi has no use for oil, especially perfumed oil such as this. Take it out immediately. Deliver this oil to the temple of Jagannath, where it may be burned in the lamps." In this way, Jagadananda's labor in manufacturing the oil will be perfectly successful. So out of love, Jagadananda Pandit, he manufactures these 15 kilos of scented sandalwood oil, and with so much difficulty he carries it, all the way to Jagannath Puri. Back then there were no cars or trains, so you can imagine, it must have been difficult for him to carry such a big load of oil. And out of love, he comes and he offers it to Govinda, the personal servant of Mahaprabhu, and tells him, you please take this oil, and every day you massage Mahaprabhu with a little bit of this oil. And this will help reduce the blood pressure of Mahaprabhu, and this will be good for Mahaprabhu's health. It will keep him healthy. So every day you massage a bit of this oil on Mahaprabhu's body, on his head. So then Govinda goes to Mahaprabhu with the oil, saying, Jagadananda Pandit, he has come back, he's brought this nice oil for you, and he wants me to massage you with this oil, a little bit every day, please accept it. And when Mahaprabhu sees this, he immediately replies, what is this? A sannyasi, he's supposed to live a very austere life. Scented oil is not something for a sannyasi, If I do like this, what will people think of me? Sannyasi is supposed to be very rigid and strict. He shouldn't engage in sense gratification. So Mahaprabhu was very strict, and he said, I can't use this oil. I can't accept this oil. But Mahaprabhu, he was thinking that Jagadananda Pandit, he went through a lot of trouble to make this oil and also to carry it to Jagannath Puri. So Mahaprabhu didn't want the oil to go to waste. So Mahaprabhu suggested an idea. He said that, okay, I can't use the oil because I'm a sannyasi, but instead what Jagadananda Pandit can do is he can take this oil to the temple of Lord Jagannath. And the servants of Lord Jagannath, they can use this oil to light lamps for Lord Jagannath. Because every day devotees, they light beautiful lamps for Jagannath, and they need some oil for that. So this oil can be used for that purpose. So in this way, the oil will be used directly in the worship of the Lord, and Jagadananda Pandit will get the blessings of Lord Jagannath. So like this, Mahaprabhu, he suggested this to Govinda to tell to Jagadananda. When Govinda informed Jagadananda Pandit of this message, Jagadananda remained silent, not saying even a word. So when Govinda informed Jagadananda about this, Jagadananda's heart was broken, because his mood was that I want Mahaprabhu to use this. This is for Mahaprabhu. And he wasn't happy with this idea. He wasn't happy with Mahaprabhu's response. Similar pastime comes to mind. One time, I think it was Mayavadi, some Mayavadi group, they came to Prabhupada and they gave Prabhupada a whole bunch or whole stack of pamphlets or brochures. But in these brochures or pamphlets, it was all Mayavad philosophy written in it. So Prabhupada looks at it and is saying, okay, this is all Mayavad philosophy, we can't use it, we can't distribute it to the public, Mayavadi Bhasya Sunle, Hoya Savinas, this is not proper philosophy. But then Prabhupada, he was thinking, these Mayavadis, they have given it out of love, as an offering, as a gift. We can't just throw it in the bin, it wouldn't be properly respecting their offering. So then Prabhupada thought, and Prabhupada gave the devotees an idea into how to still utilize the pamphlets which he had got as a gift. So after some time, when it was prasad time, and many devotees were taking prasad, Prabhupada suggested, all those pamphlets that these Mayavadis had given, you can use that as plates for devotees to honor prasad. So devotees all sat in a row to honor prasad, and Prabhupada got his disciples to use all those pamphlets as plates on which devotees can take prasad. So in this way, Prabhupada found some utility for these Mayavadi pamphlets to respect, the gift offered by the Mayavadis. So at least they can be used for honoring prasad. So I guess in a similar sense, Mahaprabhu is thinking, okay, this oil has come, I can't use it, I am a sannyasi, people will speak ill of me. But, instead it can be used, instead of going to waste, at least it can be used for Lord Jagannath's service. Let it be used for Jagannath's worship. And this way Jagannathananda Pandit, he will get a lot of nice blessings of Lord Jagannath. But Jagannathananda Pandit, he wasn't happy. And he becomes very angry, as we'll see now. When 10 days had passed, Govinda again told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is the desire of Jagannathananda Pandit that your lordship accept the oil. So 10 days later, Govinda again he comes and tells Mahaprabhu that, again he reminds that Jagannathananda Pandit is not happy, he still wants you to accept the oil. When the Lord heard this, he angrily said, why not keep a masseur to massage me? Have I taken sannyas for such happiness? Accepting this oil would bring my ruination, and all of you would laugh. So Mahaprabhu also from his side, he is also very strict and stern, he is not budging a bit. If someone passing on the road smelled this oil on my head, he would think of me as a Dari sannyasi, a tantric sannyasi who keeps women. So Mahaprabhu is saying, sarcastically Mahaprabhu is saying, why not keep a masseur to massage me? First you're offering oil, then you'll say someone needs to massage you with oil, then you'll hire some professional to massage me. And then when people, they'll see this, they'll think, he's not a sannyasi, he's just a fake. In this way, people will speak ill of me, and that will be the ruination of my sannyas. And the whole reason Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas was to deliver the fallen souls, because back then in Navadvip, he saw that people were talking behind his back, criticizing him, and Mahaprabhu was thinking that, the whole reason I descended was to bring these people closer to my lotus feet. But now that they're criticizing me, blaspheming me, instead of coming closer to me, they're going away from me. So the opposite is happening of what I descended. So then Mahaprabhu is thinking what to do. And then this idea of taking sannyas comes. Mahaprabhu then thinks that in society, everyone respects sannyasis. And whenever any sannyasi comes, everyone bows down and offers obeisances. So if I take sannyas, then even these blasphemers, even these fools who are criticizing me, even they out of respect will offer obeisances. And when they offer obeisances, all the aprad, all the offenses they've committed by criticizing me will be mitigated. So Prabhupada says, whenever there is obeisances, all offenses are forgiven. So this was Mahaprabhu's rationale behind taking sannyas. The whole reason Mahaprabhu took sannyas was it was a preaching tactic to deliver the fallen souls. But now Mahaprabhu is saying, the whole reason I took sannyas was to deliver these fallen souls. Now if I, after taking sannyas, use oil, get people to massage me like this, then again the same people will criticize me again. Then again, instead of coming closer to me, they'll go away from my lotus feet. The whole purpose for which I descended, the opposite would happen. So it was not for his own reputation, Mahaprabhu was being so strict as a sannyasi, it was simply to deliver the fallen souls. Mahaprabhu wanted to act as a strict sannyasi. Because if he didn't act as a strict sannyasi, then people would criticize him. And if people criticized him, instead of coming closer to Krishna, they will go away from Krishna. So that's why Mahaprabhu, he wanted to follow the sannyas ashram very strictly, simply for the benefit of the fallen souls. Just so he wouldn't give anyone an excuse to criticize him. So this was Mahaprabhu's stance. But on the other side, there are his devotees. His devotees, they see him as the Supreme Lord, and they can't tolerate, seeing Mahaprabhu doing so many austerities. Just like a mother, if the mother sees the son or the children doing some austerity, the mother can't bear it, and the mother will always try and pamper the children, eat more, do this. The mother will always like to give more and more comforts to the child, pamper him very nicely, out of love and affection for the child. So the associates Mahaprabhu, on their side, out of love and affection, they always wanted to feed Mahaprabhu nice prasad, and give many bodily comforts to Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu, from his side, he would always reject. I'm a strict sannyasi, I need to follow. So this was Jagadananda's mood. And now Jagadananda Pandit is going to get a bit angry at Mahaprabhu. Hearing these words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda remained silent. The next morning, Jagadananda went to see the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Jagadananda Pandit, "My dear Pandit, you have brought me some oil from Bengal. But since I am in the renounced order, I cannot accept it. Deliver the oil to the temple of Jagannath, so that it may be burned in the lamps. Thus your labor in preparing the oil will be fruitful." Jagadananda Pandit replied, "Who tells you all these false stories? I have never brought any oil from Bengal." After saying this, Jagadananda Pandit took the jug of oil from the room and threw it down before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the courtyard and broke it. After breaking the jug, Jagadananda Pandit returned to his residence, bolted the door and lay down. So when Jagadananda Pandit, he finally meets Mahaprabhu face to face, Mahaprabhu tries to console him, tells him, that, okay, you've brought this oil, but I'm a sannyasi, I can't accept it. Instead, you go and offer it to Jagannath. When Jagadananda, he hears this, he sarcastically, in anger, he tells Mahaprabhu, who has told you I've brought this oil? I've never bought any oil. This is someone else's oil. And then out of anger, he picks up that huge pot of oil and he throws it on the ground and just smashes the whole pot of oil. And then he storms off into his room, he locks the door and he lays down and he fasts. And he doesn't eat anything for 3 full days out of anger, in retaliation. I brought this oil for Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's not accepting it. Out of transcendental anger, he breaks the pot and he goes, locks his door and he fasts for 3 full days. Now Mahaprabhu has to again come and pacify Jagadananda Pandit. 3 days later, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the door of his room and said, "My dear Jagadananda Pandit, please get up. I want you personally to cook my lunch today. I am going now to see the Lord in the temple. I shall return at noon." After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this and left, Jagadananda Pandit got up from his bed, bathed, and began to cook varieties of vegetables. So Mahaprabhu knew exactly how to stop Jagadananda Pandit to stop fasting. He knew that Jagadananda Pandit, he loves him and he loves to cook for him especially. So after 3 days of Jagadananda just staying in his room, locked up, fasting, Mahaprabhu goes, knocks on his door and tells Jagadananda Pandit that today I've come, I'm very hungry, I need some prasad. You please cook something for me. I'm going now to take my midday bath. I'll be back soon. You please cook some prasad for me and I'll take. So then when Jagadananda, he hears this, he can't stop himself. Immediately he goes, takes a shower, and then immediately starts cooking prasadam for the Lord. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this and left, Jagadananda Pandit got up from his bed, bathed, and began to cook varieties of vegetables. After finishing his noontime ritualistic duties, the Lord arrived for lunch. Jagadananda Pandit washed the Lord's feet and gave the Lord a sitting place. He had cooked fine rice, mixed it with ghee, and piled it high on a banana leaf. There were also varieties of vegetables placed all around in pots made of banana tree bark. On the rice and vegetables were tulsi flowers, and in front of the Lord were cakes, sweet rice, and other prasadam of Lord Jagannath. So first Jagannath Pandit, he washes Mahaprabhu's feet, gives him a sitting place. Then on a big banana leaf, he serves him a huge hill of rice. On top of the hill of rice, there's a big scoop of ghee. And then there are small vessels made out of, again, banana leaves. And in these small vessels, there are different sabjis, vegetable dishes placed. And there is also many different sweets and cakes. And on top of all the rice and vegetables, there is tulsi manjaris sitting on top. So in this way, very nicely, Jagannatha, he is offering this big feast for Mahaprabhu. And he's also brought some prasadam of Lord Jagannath. So some items he's cooked himself, other items he's brought from the Jagannath Puri temple, the Mahaprasad of Jagannath. The Lord said, "Spread another leaf with the helping of rice and vegetables, so that today you and I may take lunch together." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept his hands raised and would not accept the prasad, until Jagannananda Pandit, with great affection and love, spoke the following words. So the whole reason Mahaprabhu asked Jagannananda to cook prasad for him was so Jagannananda could break his fast. Because for 3 full days he hasn't eaten anything, and Mahaprabhu can't, tolerate his devotee fasting. So Mahaprabhu's idea was, I'll ask him to cook prasad for me, which he will naturally do, and after he cooks, I'll ask him to eat with me. So in this way, he will break his fast. I'll eat, and along with me, he will sit next to me, and he'll also eat along with me. So in this way, finally, after 3 days, he will break his fast. This was the whole goal of Mahaprabhu. His whole goal was to pacify Jagannath Pandit and make him eat some prasad. But now we'll see Jagannananda Pandit, he will refuse, and he will politely tell Mahaprabhu, no, you please eat first. After you eat, I'll eat later. Don't worry, I promise I'll eat, but first you eat. Please first take prasad yourself, and I shall eat later. I shall not refuse your request. In great happiness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then accepted the lunch. When he had tasted the vegetables, he again began to speak. Even when you cook in an angry mood, he said, the food is very delicious. This shows how pleased Krishna is with you. Because he will personally eat the food, Krishna makes you cook so nicely. You offer such nice nectarian rice to Krishna. Who can estimate the limit of your good fortune? So Mahaprabhu, in this way, he is glorifying the wonderful prasad that Jagannananda Pandit has cooked. So it is said that Mahaprabhu, he descended to show through his own example how a devotee should act. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksastagmeka Purusha Purana. So it is said that Vairagya, renunciation, Vidya, transcendental knowledge, and Nija Bhakti Yoga, how to do bhakti to himself. So to teach these 3 things, Mahaprabhu, he personally came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How to display renunciation from this material world, to teach us spiritual wisdom, transcendental science, and to show us practically how to do devotional service of bhakti. For these 3 reasons, Mahaprabhu, personally he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So from this we're seeing how Mahaprabhu is showing how we should respect and honor, the nice prasad devotees have cooked. So Mahaprabhu is very nicely glorifying Jagannatha Pandit, that you've cooked such nice nectarian rice, and sabjis. Who can estimate the limit of your good fortune? And Mahaprabhu is saying, Krishna has personally empowered you to cook such nice offering. So in this way, whenever any devotee, they cook nice prasad, we should, it's our duty also to thank them and offer some sweet words, the prasad was very nice, it was as if Radharani cooked herself, like this we can offer some genuine words of appreciation for other devotees' service. And we'll see this throughout Caitanya Caritamrta, Mahaprabhu personally appreciating different devotees' offerings of service and genuinely glorifying them. And especially as we were discussing a few weeks ago, when Mahaprabhu used to glorify his devotees, it was as if he had 5 mouths. So when it comes to appreciating devotees, when it comes to giving other devotees credit, glorifying them, we shouldn't hold back. We shouldn't be shy, but we should openly appreciate and glorify devotees, offer gratitude to devotees, as if we had 5 mouths. So that is not the time to be shy. So Mahaprabhu now is thanking Jagadananda Pandit for his wonderful prasad. Jagadananda Pandit replied, "He who will eat has cooked this. As far as I am concerned, I simply collect the ingredients." So Jagadananda Pandit, from his side, he is showing how a Vaishnava should be humble. So he's getting so much praise from Mahaprabhu that, you've cooked such nice prasad. But what is Jagadananda's reply? He is saying, "He who will eat this has cooked this. I just simply collect the ingredients." Which means he is saying that actually you only cook this. You empowered me to cook this nice prasad. The credit should go to you. You are the Paramatma, you are Antayami, you are within my heart. All ability comes from you. You only cook this nice prasad. All I did was just simply collect the ingredients. So in this way, he is simply deflecting the credit for the service back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Jagadananda Pandit is showing what we should do when glorification comes to us. Radhanath Maharaj, he explains that whenever any praise or glorification it comes to us, it's a bit of a dangerous position for us, because if we let that glorification or praise come to our head, then it can lead to pride. And once it leads to pride, our fall down will begin. As we were discussing a few classes ago, Lord Jagannath, he very much hates pride. He doesn't like pride in his devotees. And whenever he sees pride in his devotees, he will do something to break that pride. So that is the danger of getting glorification or getting praise. So that's why Radhanath Maharaj, he says that whenever we get glorified or any praise comes to us, it's as if someone is throwing a red hot, blazing coal straight onto us. So you can imagine, how you have coal and you burn fire with the coal. So it's like someone throwing a burning hot coal onto you. So when a burning hot coal is thrown onto us, if we catch it and hold it onto our heart, what will happen? We'll just burn ourselves more. So in this way, he says, whenever any praise and glorification comes to us, if we catch it and hold it close to our chest and try and enjoy, oh yes, I'm actually so nice. Oh yes, I'm doing such great service. The longer we hold on to that glorification or praise, the longer we hold on to that red hot coal, the more we'll cause damage to ourselves, the more damage we'll cause to our spiritual lives, because we'll get proud. So what he says is, just like when someone throws a red hot coal onto us, the natural instinct should be, you just deflect it to somewhere else, to someone else. You don't hold it close to you. As soon as you get it, you just throw it somewhere else. So in this way, he says, the way to deal with glorification or praise is, whenever any glorification or praise comes, we should immediately take it and pass it on to our previous acharyas, to other Vaishnavas, to our spiritual masters, to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. So actually, Prabhu, it's not actually me who is doing this, it's just simply the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, or simply the blessings of my Guru Maharaj, or simply the mercy of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. If they didn't help me, if they didn't empower me, I wouldn't be able to do all this. And that's what Jagadananda Pandit is doing. He's getting glorification Mahaprabhu, and he's saying, actually, this is not my work. You only empowered me to cook this nice piece. The credit goes to you. Nothing comes to me. So in this way, Radhanath Maharaj explains how we as Vaishnavas should handle praise or glorification. As soon as any praise or glorification comes, we shouldn't let it get to our head, because then it will cause pride. Immediately, we should offer it to our spiritual master, to other Vaishnavas, or to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. And we should genuinely understand that actually whatever we're doing, anything good we're doing, is simply by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, simply by the mercy and empowerment of Guru and Krishna. In this way, we'll always be safely situated in proper consciousness. Jagadananda Pandit continued to offer the Lord varieties of vegetables. Out of fear, the Lord said nothing but continued eating happily. Jagadananda Pandit eagerly forced the Lord to eat so much that he ate 10 times more than on other days. So usually Mahaprabhu, as a sannyasi, he would just eat a little bit. But this time, he's afraid. If I say no to Jagadananda Pandit, that, I have had enough, please stop, he'll again get angry, again he'll fast for another 3 days. So Mahaprabhu was very afraid. He didn't know what Jagadananda Pandit will do next. He has a very, angry mindset. Already he has, out of anger, broken the whole pot of oil. Already out of anger, he's fasted for 3 days. If he refuses to honor his prasad, who knows what else he'll end up doing. So out of fear, Mahaprabhu, he doesn't stop Jagadananda Pandit and he just continues eating whatever Jagadananda Pandit is offering. And he eats so much, that is mentioned, that he eats 10 times more than what he would usually eat. Imagine that, eating 10 times more of what you would normally take for lunch. So Mahaprabhu takes a huge amount of prasad out of fear of upsetting Jagadananda Pandit. Again and again, when the Lord wished to get up, Jagadananda Pandit would feed him more vegetables. So as soon as Mahaprabhu would finish something and he would get ready to get up, again Jagadananda Pandit will immediately be there and he will again serve more sabji, more sweet rice, more dal. He wouldn't let Mahaprabhu get up and he just kept continuously serving more and more prasadam. And out of fear, Mahaprabhu just continues eating. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dared not forbid him to feed him more. He just continued eating, fearful that Jagadananda would fast if he stopped. At last, the Lord respectfully submitted, "My dear Jagadananda, you have already made me eat 10 times more than I am used to. Now please stop." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up and washed his hands and mouth while Jagadananda Pandit brought spices, a garland and sandalwood pulp. Accepting the sandalwood pulp and garland, the Lord sat down and said, "Now in front of me, you must eat." Jagadananda replied, "My Lord, you go take rest. I shall take prasadam after I finish making some arrangements." Ramai Pandit and Raghunath Bhatta did the cooking, and I want to give them some rice and vegetables. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told Govinda, "You remain here. When the Pandit has taken his food, come inform me." So finally, Mahaprabhu, he stops eating, he pacifies Jagadananda Pandit, he washes his hand, he gets offered some spices, a garland, sandalwood pulp. And now Mahaprabhu, again, the whole reason Mahaprabhu came and asked him to cook was to break Jagadananda Pandit's fast. But so far only he has eaten. He himself has eaten 10 times of what he normally would eat, but still Jagadananda Pandit hasn't broken his fast. He's still been fasting for 3 full days. So now Mahaprabhu, after finishing his meal, now he's ordering Jagadananda Pandit, "Okay, I have eaten, I have fulfilled your desire. Now you please sit down, now you honor the prasad. I'm not going anywhere until you eat. I want to see you eat." Then Jagadananda Pandit, he again comes up with another excuse and he says, "My dear Lord, you please go take rest. Don't worry about me. First, I have some other duties to do. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he helped me with the cooking. And Ramai Pandit, he also helped me with the cooking. I would like to feed them first, And after feeding them, then I will honor the prasad first. They help me a lot. I want to serve them first. So don't worry. You go take your afternoon rest. I will take my prasad later after feeding the other devotees who help me with the cooking." And Mahaprabhu, he doesn't trust Jagadananda Pandit. And out of love, affection, he wants to make sure that his devotee, Jagadananda Pandit, he is breaking his fast. So he orders Govinda, "You don't come with me, I will go myself, I will take rest, you stay here." He orders his personal servant Govinda to stay at Jagadananda Pandit's house and to watch Jagadananda Pandit eat. And only after Jagadananda Pandit has eaten, Mahaprabhu tells Govinda, "Then you come back and you inform me that Jagadananda Pandit has eaten." So much love and affection Mahaprabhu had for Jagadananda Pandit. He couldn't tolerate seeing his pure devotee fasting for so many days, and he wanted to make sure that, he breaks his fast. So he orders his personal servant that you please stay here and you personally make sure Jagadananda eats. And only after you've seen he's eaten, then you come back and then you inform me. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said this and left, Jagadananda Pandit spoke to Govinda. "Go quickly and massage the Lord's feet," he said. "You may tell him the Pandit has just sat down to take his meal. I shall keep some remnants of the Lord's food for you. When he is asleep, come and take your portion." Jagadananda Pandit thus distributed remnants of the Lord's food to Ramai, Nandai, Govinda and Raghunath Bhatta. He also personally ate the remnants of the food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then the Lord again sent Govinda. The Lord told him, "Go see whether Jagadananda Pandit is eating. Then quickly return and let me know." Seeing that Jagadananda Pandit was indeed eating, Govinda informed the Lord, who then became peaceful and went to sleep. So Jagadananda Pandit, he tells Govinda that don't worry about me, you can trust me, I will eat. You please go and massage Mahaprabhu. Because the daily routine was that after Mahaprabhu would take his lunch, Govinda, his personal servant, would massage Mahaprabhu's body, and Mahaprabhu would take some rest for a little while after lunch. So Jagadananda Pandit, he didn't want to disturb Mahaprabhu's daily schedule. So that's the mood of the devotees. The mood is how to give more and more enjoyment to the Lord, and they don't want any disturbance to come in the Lord's pleasure. So Jagadananda Pandit, he tells Govinda, don't worry about watching me eat. You simply go and continue with your service to Mahaprabhu. You massage Mahaprabhu. Because he didn't want Mahaprabhu to miss out on his, afternoon massage because of him. So he tells Govinda, don't worry, soon I will feed the other devotees. I want to first feed all the other Vaishnavas who help me, and then I will eat myself. You can trust me. So then Govinda goes, he massages Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu still has that anxiety. Has my Jagadananda eaten? Mahaprabhu, just like the devotee is always thinking of Krishna and Krishna's pleasure, in the same way, the Lord or Mahaprabhu or Krishna is always thinking about his devotee's welfare. So just like from his side, Jagadananda is thinking, I don't want any disturbance to my Lord's pleasure. Same way, Mahaprabhu is in constant anxiety for the welfare of his devotee, Jagadananda. So Mahaprabhu is getting massaged, but his whole mind is there with Jagadananda that, has he eaten? So after getting massage, Mahaprabhu again tells Govinda, again go back to Jagadananda's house and check whether he has eaten or not. So Mahaprabhu, he doesn't go to sleep on this day. He stays awake. First Govinda goes, then Govinda sees Jagadananda is eating. Then he comes back, informs Mahaprabhu, okay, now Mahaprabhu's anxiety is gone. Okay, finally Jagadananda has broken his fast, he's eating, everything's back to normal. Then Mahaprabhu, he closes his eyes and he peacefully goes to sleep. So just like the devotees are always in anxiety how to serve the Supreme Lord, in the same way the Supreme Lord is also in a similar mood, always in anxiety, or is always thinking how he can serve or reciprocate with his devotees. He's also always in anxiety for the welfare of his devotees. And this is what we see with these loving pastimes between Jagadananda Pandit and Mahaprabhu. The affectionate, loving exchanges between Jagadananda Pandit and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued in this manner, exactly like the exchanges between Satyabhama and Lord Krishna related in Srimad Bhagavatam. Who can estimate the limit of Jagadananda Pandit's fortune? He himself is the example of his own great fortune. Anyone who hears about the loving exchanges between Jagadananda Pandit and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or who reads Jagadananda's book, Prema Vivarta, can understand what love is. Moreover, he achieves ecstatic love of Krishna. So now Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami is giving the benediction for this chapter. Anyone who has heard this chapter about the loving dealings between Mahaprabhu and Jagadananda Pandit, he will be blessed with the benediction that he will one day come to understand what real love is. And the second benediction he is giving, that one day he will achieve ecstatic love of Krishna, Krishna Prema. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, narrate Sri Caitanya Caritamrta following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Antya Leela, 12th chapter, describing Jagadananda Pandit's loving dealings with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Sri Caitanya Caritamrta ki jai, Jagguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tagore Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Yes, sir.
Chaitanya
Okay, so the question is, on one side, these great devotees, they understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality Godhead. On the other side, in certain dealings like this, they are dealing with Mahaprabhu as if he's just an ordinary human being. So Prabhupada, he would say that this is just the symptom of prema or love. When someone loves someone very much, then he forgets. Prabhupada will give the example like the president of a country, the president of America. The mother, she knows her son, the mother of the president, she knows her son is the president. She has that information, okay, my son is the president of America. But when he actually comes to her house, that knowledge of him being the president goes into the background. And what's in the front is, he's just my son. She doesn't think he's the president. She just thinks, he's my son who I've taken care of him. And she cooks for him out of love. And she just deals with him as if she was just her son. And she doesn't think of him as being the president. So that happens out of love. The love of the mother for her son overpowers the knowledge of him being the president. So in the same way, Prabhupada explains that, okay, that knowledge is there, okay, that he's Supreme Personality Godhead. But the love for Krishna Mahaprabhu is so great that love overpowers that knowledge. And they just want to show their love and affection through service, either by cooking nice prasad for him, helping Mahaprabhu's bodily comforts, so on and so forth. Just like the Vrajvasis, Mother Yasoda, how she, she's not conscious of Krishna being Supreme Personality Godhead. She just sees Krishna as a darling son and wants to serve him in that same mood. These associates of Mahaprabhu, they're also serving Mahaprabhu in that same mood and love. So out of love, that knowledge goes to the background.
So can we say that it's the handiwork of Yoga as well?
Yeah, you can say.
And the other thing, whenever Jagadananda Pandita or Raghava Pandita or Sachi Mata used to cook the bhoga, whom they used to offer and who were in the altar, is it they used to offer to Lord Vishnu and then bring the plate over to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how they used to.
I'm not sure specifically what deities Mother Sachi had or Raghava Pandit had. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they had some deities they used to worship and they used to offer to those deities. And Sachi Mata, when she used to cook, she used to cook thinking of her son, Nimai Pandit, that, these were all the favorites of my Nimai Pandit. He used to really like sabji made out of banana flowers. He used to really like the spinach sabji. Like this, she would cook nice different sabjis, everything that her darling son used to like. And she would offer to her deities. And while she was offering, she would think, if only my dear Nimai was here. This is all the favorite items of him. If he was here, he would have really enjoyed this nice prasad. But he's not here. In this way, she would cry. And as she's thinking of Nimai like that, Mahaprabhu personally comes and eats all the offering. Then when Mother Sachi, she opens her eyes, she sees everything is empty. The bhoga offering for the Lord is empty. Then she gets confused. Then she gets a bit bewildered. What has happened here? I just offered, now everything's empty. Then she goes back to the kitchen and she sees all the pots are full. And she thinks, I must have forgotten. Or maybe my deity himself, Gopal has come and eaten everything. Then again she offers another plate. In her heart, it's mentioned, in her heart she understands that Mahaprabhu is personally coming and eating, but externally she acts as if, she doesn't know what's happening. So, like this, same with Raghava Pandit. I'm not sure exactly what deities they had, but they used to offer, and Mahaprabhu used to personally come and accept all the offerings. Yeah, that pastime is there also.